Hey everyone, it's been a little while since I've done a track guide, so I thought I would do that with the Super Formula 23. This is the Toyota, not the Honda, but I don't think it really matters. I think they're all the same spec anyway and the same performance. The best time I got, I did some, I would say 5 laps here, with the qualifying time at 1:53.5, 496. I'll just call it rounded up as 0.5. And this is with the OTS on, as you can tell, with the light flashing. With the OTS not on, we'll probably expect maybe a 54 or so. So yeah, let's get started. I'll run through the lap twice, once through external view and then once through in cockpit. This is my lap. You really need to get a good run into the last turn and make sure that your chicane from your previous lap is adequate. And then you brake around the 100-meter mark and then you make sure you dive into that little dip. Eau Rouge is pretty simple, honestly. I don't think there's too much of a trick to it other than just try to be smooth as possible and just try not to do too much steering lock and just be flat. Just as soon as the curb starts on the left, brake hard. The key for this section is not use all of the curbing on the right and just treat it as a complex of S corners. In here, tricky, lots of trail braking. You need a lot of trail braking to make sure you don't pile into the wall there because it's a downhill turn. Same with this one, you got to brake early, trail brake a little bit, and then get on the power real early. This one, very tricky to get right. A stab of brakes, rotate the car, and then back flat on the gas. And then this one is as soon as the curb starts, stab a brake, and then just rotate with the gas pedal. And this one's also another early throttle one, where the straight is so long because all of this is flat out, so you sort of treat it as a one big long straight up until the last chicane, the bus stop. So you want to get on the gas really, really early. So that's almost one lap. So let's get through to the bus stop, and then you brake just as soon as you see the little brake markers on the left-hand side, the little tire marks on the left white lane. You start braking. But let's go back to the start of the lap, and let's hop into the cockpit. All right, so you start going, and then you brake right at the 100-meter mark. You notice, I think I let go of the gas at right at the 100-meter mark. And then you brake in a straight line as much as you can. And you don't really turn in until you're sufficiently slow down, because running wide here will definitely give you an off-track penalty. So you don't want to do that, but you also just got to be really careful you don't clip the right-hand side onto that big sort of wall there on the right. It's definitely going to damage you. But really do try to, cheat on the inside, try to get as much of your car rotated before you dip into this curb right here. And then you can see that I've already rotated quite a bit. So by the time I'm exiting this curb, I'm basically using the curb to finish my corner exit. And then gentle on the gas, full power, keep going. And this is all the way flat out. I don't lift at all, hug the curb. And this is actually really interesting. I didn't get an off track for this, and look how much curb I can use. I am basically all 4 wheels onto the curb. In fact, the left wheels are slightly off. I didn't get an off track, so hey, use it. It seems like the full curb is legal. So keep going all the way through. Bit bumpy. And all right, this is the braking point is well past 100. I'm still past 100, but I brake right when the curb is about to start. And then I trail brake off. You can see my brakes. My brakes are slightly trailing off as I rotate the car. Hug the right, but as soon as I see the sort of the left corner of this, I I guess the left sweeper or the left-hand side of this chicane or bus stop, I start getting back on the gas and rotating back this other side, but I make sure I don't go all the way to the right. And that's because I want to make sure I get on the gas as early as possible. Excuse me, a bit of coughing there. All right, so I'm going to go back here a little bit. I brake right when the curb starts. Not too much after. This is already cutting it really, really close. Any bit further, you might risk understeering into the gravel trap there, and that's pretty disastrous. I have yet to not crash into the wall whenever I, in any car, super formula or not, if I understeer here. I feel like this is one of those corners where I'd rather be more safe than sorry, and I would rather give up time here, even if it's a little bit, 1 or 2 tenths, rather than end up in the wall. So use your judgment, but I brake right when the curb starts, and then it's lots of trail braking. You can see I'm still hard on the brakes, and then slowly trail off. You can see I have a smidgen, just a tiny little bit of brakes here, just to continue helping the car rotate. Get on the gas a little bit, lift, so you can see I'm modulating the throttle here just to get the car to rotate, and then get back to the right hand side as soon as possible. And then as soon as I touch the curbs, I'm just starting to get ready to go back left. And I do a quick stab of the brakes, not too much, just to rotate the car, turn in. This is where you can also, again, cut a lot of curb. You can see that my left wheels are basically on the dirt. But hey, it works. And then get on the gas as early as possible, because you basically have a pretty long period of full throttle. So, all right. So this is a tricky one. I'm going to get back into the cockpit view and rewind a little bit. So I use this as a sort of a bit of a guide. You see the little traffic light here next to the little hut. That's where I give it a stab brake, not too much, and then I rotate the car. Now, this one, you can tell I am just on the limit about to spin the car. I actually have to counter steer a little bit just to make sure I don't go and spin out. But just enough rotation, if you can sort of keep your eye here, as far as your eye can see around the barriers here, you can see that, hey, I think I'm going to make the corner. As soon as you think that, give it as much gas as possible, because I'm still looking as far left as I possibly can. Steer, get full throttle. And then this one's pretty simple. Stab the brakes, just modulate. So, all right, so I'm going to go back here. Just watch the throttle. I steer with the gas, basically. So I'm keeping my steering wheel fairly stable. Yes, there's a little bit of like correction, but I'm using the gas to rotate the car. So do that, because you want to be on the gas as early as possible. So same here. And all right, we're almost done. All of this is full throttle all the way through. And try to be as smooth as possible. Hug the right, and then slowly turn left. And then the braking point I pick out is right around here, where you see a bunch of little, I would say, tire markings on the left-hand side of the lane here, or you can look out for this little hut. The hut that's a little bit close, I tend to brake right before that. So, the hut is definitely too close. So I brake well, I would say maybe 1 or 2 car lengths before the curbs, and then brake hard. And then this bus stop is pretty tricky, but I would avoid this right-hand side sausage curb here. I'll unsettle the car. Lots of trail braking. You want to rotate the car in. And then as soon as you know you're going to make the first part of this bus stop chicane, you want to start applying gas, actually. You might spin out, so just be careful. A bit of modulation, gentle on the throttle. And and there's one lap. And then the final thing I would also mention is when you go through here, it's very tempting to use the full width of the track on the right and really take this curb as well. I personally don't do it because that means you've sort of wasted time. I feel like the car is not moving nearly fast enough for me to really use the full width of the track. If you get on the gas early, I think that's the most important part. And yeah, so there you have it. I think this is one lap. Yeah, so I'm just going to end here and enjoy. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. See ya.